Now the journey dives deeper into Morocco's wild beauty through the towering cliffs of Dades and Todra Gorges, the fragrant valley of roses, and into the heart of Sahara. Join me as I ride into Merzouga, trek across the golden dunes of Erg Chebbi, and spend a night under desert stars in a traditional Berber camp. This is vlog 3 and the adventure is just getting started. For those who are new, previously we crossed the mighty Atlas Mountains, explored the ancient Sahara of Hedu, and stepped into the cinematic magic of Atlas Studios. Do have a look. Let's get started.
Hello, namaste and Cape Cho beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel, Isha Beyond Borders.
Good morning on the day 3 in Morocco, and I am in Dades today. It's a beautiful morning. Let me just give you, oh my god, wow. Could this get any better? Can you hear the birds chirping? It's such a rare sight now. So let's get ready. Alright, so ready for today. We're going to go to Dades and then continue towards the Sahara Desert, the Merzouga. There's going to be Camel Ride today. So kind of excited for the Moroccan desert life. So this is the breakfast spread for today. Surprisingly, we have a paratha, and there's bread, there's omelette, and there's a couple of dips, condiments, like there's olives, there's almond butter, honey, and of course the regular tea, coffee and juice.
I am in this place which blooms just once a year, which is the Valley of Roses right behind me. And next to me, I am in the Dades Gorge. Now, they were supposed to be two different cities, but over the time, they have sort of merged together and there is just one big valley between the two of them. The river flows here during the season time. This road isn't just famous, it's scenic and terrifying at the same time. The entire city is painted in pink because it also represents the Valley of Roses. You will also find taxis in pink. It's quite a beautiful sight to visit.
Driving through the Dades Gorge, I expected sweeping valley views and bursts of color from the famed Valley of Roses. But since it was in bloom season, the landscape felt a bit underwhelming. If you are planning to visit, try to come during late April or early May. That's when the roses are in full bloom and the valley truly comes alive. To be honest, this part of the journey felt skippable. The scenery is nice, but it didn't quite live up to the hype, at least not this time of the year.
Here, okay, this is something that this little boy over there gifted to me. Behind me is the place called Yagoumand. This is the old civilization. You can see all the buildings that were made from just mud and stones. They are almost 500 years old. So there's also a lot of greenery, which I was not expecting, to be honest. Their diet also contains of a lot of vegetables, comparatively lesser meat to what I have seen in other countries and also in India. Because once there is a non-vegetarian, the plate is majorly the meat, but here I've seen it's most of the time it's veg food. It's a lot of vegetables thanks to the plantations. Of course, dates again are very famous over here. This canyon isn't bothered about tourists. It's just here, tall, still and unbothered.
Todra Gorge, on the other hand, is absolutely worth the detour. Just an hour's drive from Dades, it opens up into dramatic canyon with cliffs that rise nearly 300 meters on either side. It's a popular spot for rock climbers from around the world, and even if you're not climbing, the sheer scale of the gorge is breathtaking. You will find locals selling handmade crafts, a few cozy riverside cafes, and even few options for river camping if you're staying longer. It's a great place to slow down, soak in the atmosphere, or just enjoy the natural beauty carved out by thousands of years of water and wind. I even drank straight from the river. The water was ice cold, fresh, and surprisingly good. One of those simple moments that just hits different when you're out in nature. I also filmed a cinematic reel while I was here, so if you want to really feel the vibe, go check that out on my Instagram. Behind me is the Kalat Mgona, hidden between rocky hills and dusty trails, lie forgotten villages over 500 years old, built entirely from sand and mud. These homes, once full of life, now stand abandoned, weathered by centuries of sun, wind, and rain. The architecture is simple but clever, natural insulation from desert heat, crafted entirely from water land could give. It's humbling to stand in a place like this, a quiet reminder of how people lived in complete harmony with their environment long before concrete and glass.
So we're on our way to the Merzouga desert. There's gonna be camel ride and that kind of stuff, like I said. It's a 3 hours drive, I believe, and 1 hour is already completed. We have stopped midway at this hotel to just grab a quick snack. I don't feel too hungry, which is why I've ordered for a soup. And like always, here's a big basket of bread. Let me show you around. So this is a lemon vinaigrette and olive oil, and like some olives like every time. This basket of bread. Finally, the soup has arrived after a long wait. It looks like a mixed soup of carrot, pumpkin. Okay, so this is bottle gourd and carrot. Lucky carrot soup. It is very healthy, and for me it needs seasoning. So in the middle of nowhere in this place called Hatarat, and we've stopped to check the irrigation, which is roughly around 100 years old. So these are the wells that were built like 100 years ago, a century ago, and you can see there's a big line of wells side by side, and they're distance at about 10 meters far each. So at that point of time, water was a big issue, and on that side, on my left hand side, is a lot of plantation, which of course needs water. On the right hand side was the main source of water. So to transport the water from my right to my left, all these wells were dug. Considering it was a century ago, the lack of machinery and technology added up in making it a difficult task, but they had to make it, and they had to dig it underground, of course, for reasons to get water perennially, to avoid any animals, to avoid sandstorm, to avoid the evaporation. So let's go down and have a look at how it actually works.
So this might not look like much at first, but what you're seeing is a part of 100-year-old irrigation system called the Hatarat or the Khatara. Basically, it's an underground water channel that was dug by hand, yes, by hand, to bring water from the mountains all the way down to the desert villages. No pumps, no machines, just smart use of gravity and a lot of digging, and it actually still works in some places.
So we are underground. It is a very short walk, to be precise, and this is how the tunnel looks like. We can actually see the marks where the water level was at that point of time, and it is going to be a very long trail. I just walked backwards, and let's move ahead. Although there is more lighting just in the beginning for tourists and passengers. It's been a while that I'm just walking under this tunnel, and to be honest, it's freaking scary. I did spot a mouse, so I'm not sure if I should really go ahead.
These little vertical shafts you see, they were used to access the tunnel below for maintenance and to help with airflow. It's honestly pretty amazing how people manage to survive and farm out here in such tough conditions using just natural techniques and local knowledge. Kind of makes you think they were doing sustainable living way before it was cool. While the entry to this system is free, I paid roughly around 20 Moroccan dirhams as tips to the local boys there.
So after super long drive, we are here at our hotel in the Merzouga. It's called Dar Tafouyt. It looks very old, but I like the way the exteriors have been done, very much traditional.
And here in the Merzouga, which is a village in Sahara, I am waiting for my car to come to take me for the Camel Ride, which eventually takes us to the Erg Chebbi dunes and then of course the desert camp in Sahara. Built from traditional mud and sand, it blends perfectly with the surroundings, almost like it grew right out of the dunes. Sipping mint tea here surrounded by those earthy walls and desert vibes was the perfect chill moment before diving into the adventure. Even if you're just passing through, this spot is worth a stop to enjoy the calm, the views, and a taste of authentic Saharan hospitality. Thanks to the summers for making Moroccan trips so difficult. I was actually, to be very honest, quite excited for the camel ride, but it began a little too soon. Although it must have been just around 4:30 or 5, but it was still so hot over there, and I had a tough time facing the heat. It was almost 1.5 hours ride on the camels. Of course, it's a beautiful visual, but I think it's a little too much for me to bear with all that heat. I also did an Instagram live, and if you guys aren't following me, then you are missing out on all the live updates. Make sure to carry a bottle of water when you're on the camel because of course it's a long journey and you will need some. The camelier was kind enough to help me click a few pictures and videos of me on the camel.
My two legs cannot walk in the same direction now. The model walk and catwalk is gone. I think there's only camel walk left now. So after almost an hour's ride from the hotel, we are finally here at this point to witness the sunset. Such a beautiful sunset. It was worth all the ride and all the rashes on my butt. Worth it. Beautiful view, picturesque spot, amazing dessert, fabulous.
So after the ride, the camelier was showing me a couple of handcrafted items and was expecting that I buy some. But to be honest, I didn't feel like buying anything and I just felt that he deserved a tip for the ride, for walking through the desert for more than 90 minutes or so, and I just tipped him some for helping me out so much.
So here at this beautiful camp by the Tafouyt, and on the left side is my tent. I just love this vibe. I love the way they've set up the lamps, the whole atmosphere. It's such a vibe, very vibrant, very romantic, cozy, dull lights, just perfect. Can't wait to show you my room. So this is room number 9. Let's get in. Just took a quick shower, and I think Morocco makes me take the quickest showers in my life. Again, it was just a 2-minute shower because the person over here has been constantly calling me for dinner, and now I'm heading towards the dinner area. So I had kind of requested them to give me some rice and curd. So there's always a lot of salad, which is the best way to start any meal. Taking some rice in my plate first, and then the famous Moroccan tagine with a lot of vegetables. Today I also see green peas, olives, tomatoes, bangan, which I'm not sure if I will like, but let's taste. This is the pickle, the one that I can't live without, at least when abroad. Here's the yogurt that I asked them for, and I just hope it's not sweet. Alright, and I'm going to eat with my hands because no compromise on taste.
Post the dinner at this luxury camp, there was some time for traditional Berber music, and we had the staff play some drums and instruments for us. It was a refreshing time, but I think because of the season, again, we didn't see a lot of guests. Otherwise, it would have been even more vibrant and lively. Other than that, if you are wondering how my entire stay was overall, then I think I wouldn't be very happy with this particular camp. I'm not sure about the other camps because it was way too hot in the night for me to sleep, and when I kept asking the staff over there, they said that it's pretty cold in the nights, so I was kind of expecting that it's going to be really chilly and I would need some blankets, but it was the other way around, so it was really disappointing. And not just me, I saw a few other guests also coming out of their rooms because they couldn't sleep. So either you need to check if the camps have air-conditioned rooms, or maybe pick up the camps only during good season time when it's not so hot. Alright, that's it for this one, but the next vlog gets even more interesting. I passed through the super chill Ziz Valley and then somehow end up in Iran, where it suddenly feels like I have left Morocco and landed in Europe. Then comes Fez, which is basically a maze. I got lost more than once and maybe accidentally ended up in someone's courtyard. And finally, Chef Shawan, the famous blue city, calm, cool and kind of surreal. What happened in between? You'll just have to wait and see. Let's just say there were both some unexpected food choices and a moment I definitely didn't plan for. See you in the next one. Make sure you hit the subscribe, like, and please do share this with your friends. Look forward to your comments, feedback, or questions. Thank you and take care.